Let me speak to you regarding the things of which you must beware. To get angry and shout at times is fine, for this will keep your natural heat. But being grieved and taking all matters to heart, this destroys our body more than any other cause. The physician who wrote that to his patient was Maestro Sosali. He was revealing a common medical notion of the times, that cancer specifically was related to one's temperament. Galen, the father of modern medicine, who lived in the 2nd century AD, believed that melancholic women were more prone to cancer than those who were called happy-go-lucky. By the 18th century, European physicians were noting in their medical articles that a severe emotional shock, usually the death of a loved one, contributed to a large extent to the onset and development of cancer. Physicians of that time had available none of the tests which modern researchers use to discover facts about personality and personality difficulties. So they could do nothing but record their observations about personality and cancer. In 1822, Nunn described a woman who died of breast cancer shortly after the death of her husband. In 1846, Walsh wrote in part as follows: "Much has been written on the influence of mental misery and habitual gloominess of temper on the deposition of the cancerous matter. If systematic writers can be credited, these constitute the most powerful cause of the disease." Lobstein, excuse me if I'm saying it wrong, assuming the most factual as established, exercised his ingenuity in tracing the connection of cause and effect. Moral emotions produce defective innervation. This perversion of nutrition, which in turn caused the formation of carcinoma, cancer. I have myself met with cases in which this connection appeared so clear that I decided questioning its reality would have seemed a struggle against reason. On the basis of this conviction, Walsh advised patients with a family background of cancer to select their professions with great care. Avoid those which entail constant care and anxiety, he cautioned. Clearly, he believed that an inherited tendency to cancer plus a long-term period of psychological stress might result in cancer. In 1885, Willard Parker, an American, studied 97 cases of breast cancer and reported that grief is undoubtedly associated with the disease. Cancer patients are not people who have been noted for cheerfulness before the disease struck them. Another physician remarked that mental depression is too common an element in cancer to be overlooked. He believed furthermore that the disease could be cured by diet combined with stimulating the patient's will to live. An English physician reported, "Great mental stress has been assigned as influential in hastening the development of cancer." Another said that cancer of the breast and uterus follow immediately upon depressing emotion, too often to be mere chance. By 1921, Willie Meyer, who introduced radium therapy for cancer into America, had stated his belief that cancer is often the result of social and emotional stress because of the changes in the body produced by such stress. In other words, changes in the actual chemistry of the body necessitated by its reaction to severe stress. Frederick L. Hoffman, LLD, wrote in 1915, "From dietary disorders to nervous disorders is but a step. The two are frequently interrelated, and cause and effect are often hopelessly confused." This naturally brings me to the questions of the interrelationship of cancer and worry, or the mental attitude of the patient toward the development, spread, and curability of the disease. Another researcher, Falk, in 1931, spoke of the role of sad emotions as activating and secondary causes in the activation of human cancers. His theory, important and well conceived, was that stress or emotions affect the nervous system, which in turn affects the body's metabolism, which acts on the glands in such a way as to make the individual cells susceptible to the effects of a cancer-causing substance. Thus, you can see in the patient's prolonged and silent sorrow without the release of sobs and tears. In this book, Happy People Really Get Cancer, J.I. Rodal summed up observations he had made over the years, which led him to conclude that certain people are more prone to develop cancer than others because of their predisposition to depression, melancholy, and general despondency. He deduced that cancer occurs in definable and distinct types of personality and in response to specific psychological problems.